welcome to my channel Sandy Toe Tarot. My name is Laura. We're going to do something kind of fun today. I didn't get to do a New Year's reading this year. I did want to, but didn't manage to get it done. And I feel like I have another opportunity to do that this week because this week we are celebrating Chinese New Year. So that's another opportunity for a fresh start. So I wanted to do this particular New Year's reading. It's not like any that I do on this channel. It's kind of taking a look back at the year that's passing away, or 2020, and then looking at 2021 to see what's ahead. It will be another pick a card, so you will have some choices as to which pile you're going to choose. And actually, there are no cards down here. I will pull the cards as I'm doing the reading. So that's gonna. I hope it's fun. So let me tell you what I've learned about Chinese New Year. I don't know that much about it, but I do love it. I've always loved it. I particularly like all those colorful dragons and of course the fireworks, and it just seems really festive. Those lanterns, it's really cool. Anyway, so there are 29 ethnic groups that celebrate Chinese New Year, and in addition to China, the countries of Korea, Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, and what's the other one? Indonesia celebrate Chinese New Year, and I think there are others too. Those are just, you know, some big ones that I saw. And all this came from research, by the way. Like I said, I don't know too much about it, and I researched several different sources, so I can't tell you exactly. It was all internet research. So if you find out something different, put it in the comments below. I just like to know a little bit about things that you know, other cultures that I'm not that familiar with, so I thought I would share what I learned with you guys. Okay, so I don't know the Chinese horoscope very well. I've dabbled in it. I've looked at it a little bit. I have a great interest in the Western horoscope, so it would just stand to reason that I would have in the past, you know, at least looked at the Chinese horoscope. I'm just fascinated with that kind of stuff. So I do know that there are 12 signs for the Chinese horoscope, just like there are for Western. It is based on the year, as opposed, ours is more month, like the month that you're born in. Theirs is more the year that you were born in. I'm wearing my Chinese symbol for the year of the rabbit, because I was born in the year of the rabbit. What else? Okay, so 2021 will be starting February 12th, and that's when the Chinese New Year begins, will be the year of the ox, and it is the year of the metal ox. So what I've learned about the ox is that their good traits are that they're patient, they're very hardworking and dependable, which sounds a little bit like an earth sign, right? Like a Capricorn or something. And so the traits for metal are the strength, fortitude, and stability. So what that means for 2021 is we are looking forward to a year that's supposed to be incessant with energy and effectiveness and abundance. So who can't get behind that, right? That sounds great. So wherever you are in the world, happy Chinese New Year. I will put the camera down. You can look at the stones. Like I said, there are no cards out here. I'll do that in the process of the reading. You can pick the pile that you want to choose though, and then I'll put timestamps in the description box below, and you can go directly to your reading. We'll find out what's up for this year. I am very grateful for this second opportunity to do a New Year's reading. Like I said, I did want to do it for January 1, and the time just got away from me. So this just seems like another really, really cool opportunity. And a really cool opportunity to celebrate something else. Any day that you can celebrate is a good day, in my opinion. Okay, so I'll put the camera down and we'll get started on your Chinese New Year reading. So welcome back, my friends. These are going to be your options for the Chinese New Year pick a card reading. Very basic. I just picked these cards because they were the closest thing I could find to some kind of Asian pattern and the Asian or the Chinese New Year colors of red and gold. There's nothing on these cards that we're going to use. These are just kind of placeholders. Okay, so on pile 1, we have a Citrine. On pile 2, Sea Opal. On pile 3 is a Garnet. And on pile 4 is a clear quartz crystal. Go ahead and choose your pile. You can choose based on the number. You could choose based on the stone. You can choose intuitively. Just close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And then when you open your eyes, whichever pile you're drawn to is going to be the one for you. However you choose is the right way for you. There's no right or wrong answer here. And don't second guess yourself. Just go with whatever you think is right. I'll also put timestamps in this description box below. Once I get done with the readings, sometimes people like to choose that way. Just make your choice and then check out the timestamps and you can go directly to your reading. I'll see you there. Welcome back, pile 1. If you chose this pile with the citrine on it, these are going to be your messages for the coming year, 2021. Again, this is a different kind of reading. I've never done it this way before on this channel. It has just special meaning for, it's actually a special tarot layout or tarot spread for the new year. So I will pull the cards as we go, and I'll pull any clarifiers that I need to along the way. So again, Chinese New Year is February, so it does start February 12th this year. 2 days before Valentine's Day, and we will be in the year of the metal ox, starting February 12th. Okay, for pile 1. The first card that we want to see is, what was your major lesson in 2020? What was your major lesson in 2020? What were you working on? You got 2 cards here. I think I'll take them. So you got they're pretty similar. You got the 8 of Wands and you got the 6 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands is all about new energy, new vitality coming in, new ideas coming in, new creative ideas coming in, and about the need to, when this happens, when you have this kind of energy coming in, the need to take it up and go with it. The 6 of Wands is a victory card. It is, let's see, it's like going out and fighting a battle and coming back, and all the villagers, so all of the villagers are, you know, excited for you. They greet you because what you have done is so fantastic. So there's a little bit of accolades in message in this card too, in addition to winning, to being victorious, maybe some kind of competition or something. So to me, the lesson that you were working on in 2020 was how to recognize these ideas that come into you, recognize that it's such a blessing to get all these great ideas come at you, these creative ideas, and recognizing that it's a blessing, and learning how to take one up and run with it to completion, to victory, to a success. So that's what that was your lesson. How to create a win out of just raw idea. Okay, so for pile 1, so the second card we want to see is, what was last year's biggest achievement for y'all? What was the biggest achievement for 2020 for pile 1? You got the Strength card. So the Strength card represents, actually it's just having strength like this. When you have an idea and you take it and you run with it to completion, to a victory, that takes a lot of inner strength. And this is not talking about brute strength either, of the masculine kind. This is talking about inner strength, and the inner strength of a woman, using tact and diplomacy to work through all the problems that you have and to move forward with your plan. And when you face obstacles, it's like buckling down and having the fortitude, I guess. Finding the fortitude to persevere when you have challenges, when you're taming the beast. Okay, so that was your biggest achievement. You figured out how to do that. You were able to use your strength to come up with it, to have this victory. And it's a strength where you had to use tact and diplomacy, and maybe that's not all that easy for you. Maybe you're an Aquarius. You know, we're always so truthful. Some people think we're too blunt, right? So your achievement was to learn how to use that tact and diplomacy to get what you want. Really cool. All right, so let's look at, for pile 1, the third card we want to see is what you let go of last year. What did you let go of? Pile 1, what did they let go of? Oh, wow, good for you. 10 of Swords. It was a hard year, wasn't it, for y'all? It wasn't easy. So the 10 of Swords is a huge disappointment. It's being stabbed in the back. It is kind of some pretty nasty energy. This guy's laying prone on the ground. He's got all these swords in his back. There's blood flowing because he has been so hurt. And that is exactly what you guys let go of, what you released in 2020. A lot of long time hurts, and that was hard. That's hard work. Believe me, when you have to, first of all, isolate them, figure out what you're still hurt about, because sometimes that's all hidden beneath the surface and you're not really sure. What am I exactly so hurt about, you know? So you have to track them all down. And then you, one by one, released them all of them. Good for you. You let go of a lot of pain is what you let go of in 2020. A lot of pain, a lot of old wounds, a lot of hurts. Okay, so the fourth thing that we want to see for pile 1 is what to expect this year, what to expect in 2021, in the coming year. What can you expect? Let's take a look at the new year. What can pile 1 expect? Expect for the new year. Okay. You will be able to take a little bit of a rest. I call this card the adult timeout. It's sometimes self-imposed, sometimes it's imposed upon us. So you are taking a little bit of time out to look at things from a different perspective. And after this year, which looks like it required a lot of strength to take this creative idea and run with it to a win, after all this soul searching you did to find out what all those deep wounds were and to release them one by one, which to me, this is the major thing that you did last year. It's just such a huge accomplishment. It's okay, right? To take a little bit of time out and to look at things from a different perspective. Maybe you're just learning how to look at this from a different perspective, trying to turn it around, right? Okay, so what you can expect this year is looking at things, or the need to look at things from a different perspective and taking the time out to do that. All right, so what is your biggest challenge for 2021? Didn't even ask the question. Didn't even get the question done before that came out. Okay, so for pile 1, what is your biggest challenge for 2021? We got 2. So you got the 5 of Swords, which is, for me, it's conflict. This is kind of not pleasant conflict. You know that you get that 5 of Wands sometimes, and that's conflict, but it's a little more kind of just sibling rivalry, kind of competition, kind of you know, you hurt my feelings, I hurt your feelings, kind of small conflict. With this conflict, it's pretty nasty, you know, unfortunately. So the message of the card is that you can either win, you will win if you choose to stay and fight, but sometimes it's best to walk away from the conflict. So the second card that came out for this year's biggest challenge is Judgment, and the Judgment card is a card of waking up to life. It's telling you it's time to wake up. You're kind of missing it a little bit. So with these two here being crossed, and these do cross this card, so what that tells me is you are going to, you will probably have some conflict that sends you into this timeout, where you look at things from a different perspective, and everybody does that, and everybody also, by the way, has conflict in their life. There's no way to get around it. So it will send you into a timeout mode, and the message here is don't stay there too long. Yes, take the time, look at things from a different perspective, try to learn the lesson from whatever this conflict is, see how you can heal it, see how you can move it forward, see how you can use it to make things better. Don't stay there too long. That's the message of this Judgment card, because life is supposed to be about living. You don't want to be, you know, just stuck, which to me, a lot of us were just stuck for 2020, right? With all the isolation, stay-at-home orders, and all that stuff. So we don't want to carry that into 2021. Yes, contemplate what's happened, but don't get stuck in a isolation mode. All right, so the next thing we want to know is, what is the theme for 2021 for pile wands? What is the theme for 2021? What is the theme for pile one 2021? What will the focus be on? Oh, you are getting lots of cards. That's too many, I think. It's too many focuses. I don't think that's going to work. It's not going to help us. So what will the focus be on for pile one, 2021 focus? Okay, you got two. I think I'll go with two. That's good comparatively. You got the Page of Swords, and you got the Three of Wands. The Page of Swords is minor arcana, so that for a Taurus. So if there's a Taurus in your life, you might have to focus on, and this is a young person. Pages are young people, so you might have a young child that you have to focus on, or a Taurus in your life that you have to focus on. But the major theme is cutting things out of your life. Notice she's carrying a sword. She is carrying a sword. Really good. Has it already wielded. She is wielding the sword, and she has it ready to strike. She already has it in striking position. So the theme will be cutting things out of your life that no longer serve you, that you do not need, and also moving forward. Nice. Going out into the world, for a new adventure. So the Three of Wands comes after the Two of the Wands, and the Two of Wands is kind of the prospecting cards. You're looking out the world. You're seeing what you want to do. What comes next for you, which is cool. You're looking at the whole world to decide what comes next for you, and you're taking up one of those wands and you're moving forward with it. Good. Okay, so that is your theme for this year. Cutting out the things that no longer serve you and moving forward with your new adventure. And that's going to be different for everybody. Your new adventure can be an actual travel adventure. It could be a new business idea that you have that you want to run with. It can be a new job. It can be a new location. You may want to relocate. It can be anything, any kind of new adventure, whatever that means for you. So, but you are moving out. You're moving forward. That's what that Three of Wands is. Moving forward. Taking the first steps. Okay, so we also want to know, the next thing we want to know is how to handle the challenges that are coming your way this year. So what advice do you have for the year? Spirit, what advice do you have for pile ones for the year? How to handle challenges. What advice do you have? Okay, this is interesting. You got the Five of Wands, which again is a card of conflict. It's a card of fighting. It's kind of almost like little kids, you know, fighting with sticks, that kind of thing. So what this is saying to me is, with your conflict that you're dealing with, fight. You got to fight. You are in the right. Fight. Don't get nasty about it. Don't get Five of Swords about it. Get Five of Wands about it. Make it a little more lighthearted, but fight anyway. You're right. You deserve it. If it's a competition, you deserve it just as much as anybody else. So stay in the game. That's the message for, that's advice for how to handle this challenge. And maybe that's why you get this wake up to life with this card. You might be tempted to go into isolation mode. And this is saying, no, don't do that. Yes, the conflict sucks. Nobody wants it, but stay in the game and fight for what you want. Nice. Okay, so the last thing we want to know is, what will this transition be like from 2020 to 2021, and how will you handle the transition to 2021? Oh, pile one. How will pile one handle the transition? Oh, you're sitting pretty. Nine of Cups. Very satisfied. Very pleased with your progress. Pleased in every way. Living the life of abundance. You're coming into 2021 really, really strong. Not smug. You don't want to be smug, but you're very pleased with how things are going. You're ready for a new year. Things are looking good. You are striking out on something new, and you're absolutely ready for it. It is time. You're sitting pretty. And congratulations, by the way, on doing this hard work in 2020, because it leads you to a much better, more progressive, forward-moving 2021. See, it looks like you use your time wisely in 2020. That's what I would say. Okay, my friends, those are your messages for the new year. Happy Chinese New Year to you, wherever you are in the world. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste. Welcome back, my friends. If you chose pile 2 for your Chinese New Year messages, these are going to be your cards. Actually, I'm going to pull them out. They're not here. This is nothing. But pile 2 did have the Sea Opal on it. It's really, really pretty. It's also called an opalite. So let's see what your messages are for 2021. We will start with the energies of last year. And the first card we want to see is, what was your major lesson? What was the major lesson that pile 2 was working on in 2020? What was your major lesson for 2020? You got the Emperor card, and the Emperor card is the father order. It is the masculine. It is establishing yourself out in the world. It is using the masculine strengths like discipline, order, control, power, to basically to go out and establish yourself in the world. So that's what you were working on in 2020. It was establishing yourself. A lot of times you get that card if maybe you're just leaving home and you're taking your first job and you're getting your first apartment, you're going off to college. It's that kind of thing. That's not necessarily the only time you get that card. You get that card a lot of times. Like maybe if you're busting out on your own after working for a corporation and you want to start your new business, you get that card. So that's where my pile twos, that's the major lesson that they were working on last year. How to use the father order to establish themselves out in the world. Okay, so the second thing that we want to know for pile twos is what was last year's biggest accomplishment? No, biggest achievement, sorry. Same thing, kind of. The biggest achievement for pile twos. What was that? 2020. Brilliant. This is the biggest achievement for you guys. I'm sure y'all know what the Tower card is. The Tower card is like breaking it down, blowing it up, completely changing your life, blowing it up. That's just keeps coming to mind. It is striking down the old order. It is striking it completely down, taking it back down to the foundation. Sometimes this is something you do yourself. You're just like blowing it up. Sometimes this is divine, but it always happens for a reason. It's because the foundation was not good. So these are major changes. These are big things. When you get the Tower, that's something big that you had the guts to wipe the slate clean last year with. Can be a job, can be a marriage, can be, like a relationship, just like blowing it up. Nope, not doing this anymore. Your big achievement was letting something big leave your life in even if it wasn't a very pleasant way that it left. It was a big achievement for you that you could let it go, that you were allowed to let it go. Okay. This is going to be an exciting reading, I can tell already. These are big cards, major arcana cards. 2020 was a big year for you guys. You did some major life stuff here. Okay, so the third thing we want to know for pile twos is what you let go of last year. What did you let go of? What did you let go of last year? Oh, wow. The Seven of Wands is a card of holding your position, standing your ground, holding your own. Oh, this is beautiful. So what you let go of was this, which tells me that whatever you were trying to hold on to was not, it was wearing you out. It was not for you. It was not worth it anymore. And that's why you let it blow up. So this was what you let go of, is you let go of the need to hang on to something that was not working. Wow. The need to fight for something that was not working, that's what you let go of. Good for you. Okay, so for pile two, let's go. Like I said, looks like 2020 had some major changes in it. They were good. They were, even if they weren't pleasant at the time, they were for the best. And this, I get a real sense of struggle here with this card. It's not always struggle. Sometimes it's just, you know, I gotta stand my ground here. I gotta hold my position. This doesn't feel like that. It feels fighting a lost cause. Is what it feels like to me. So I'm glad that you let that go. Now we can move on to 2021. All right. So what can pile 2 expect in 2021 in the next year? What can pile 2 expect in the next year? Oh, interesting. 6 of Cups. This is Happy House, Childhood Memories. I don't usually read these down here. I just read the card intuitively or from my knowledge of tarot. But this is the 6 of Cups. It is a childhood card. That part is true. It is a card of nostalgia. It is a card of sometimes somebody coming back, offering you something in the way of relationship, somebody that you've already been in a relationship before, with before. Sometimes a long time ago. Like in a high school sweetheart or something comes back and wants to offer you something in the way of a relationship. Sometimes this card means that someone that is coming into you that wants to have a relationship with you reminds you of something from your childhood. It reminds you of what you wished for back in the day when you were dreaming up your dream man or your dream woman, or it reminds you of somebody that you dated back when things were, you know, back in the sweet and innocent days when everything just looked a little brighter. Something about nostalgia from your childhood and something coming back. Doesn't necessarily have to be love. It can be maybe a childhood desire that you had, a childhood dream that you had is coming back to you. Or the possibility of pursuing a childhood dream is coming back to you, a goal, something like that. But that's, yeah, there's something in 2021 that is reminiscent of your childhood, of the good old days, of when things were good, something. Okay, so what is Pile 2's biggest challenge this year? What's Pile 2's biggest challenge? Oh, 9 of Swords. Okay, swords are thoughts. In this case, there's too many thoughts. It's racing thoughts. It's staying. He's got monsters under his bed. You probably can't see the monsters, but they're there. Staying up at night, worrying about stuff. So your biggest challenge is going to be this year to stop worrying. If I knew how to do that, I would tell you. No, I'm just kidding. There are some ways, there are some tools that you can use to not worry so much. Like you can't, for one thing, you can like write it down. Sometimes that will, just writing it down, getting the thoughts out of what you're worried about can make it easier to deal with. Just write down the worst thing that can happen. Okay, what is the worst thing that can happen? And then think about it, how likely that is. Probably not very likely. We just really, I can get here so fast. I can go to, you know, worrying too much so fast. Especially when my kids were little. I was a worry wart. Was not good. But your biggest challenge is going to be to not worry too much this year, for sure. Keep the anxiety at bay. Okay, so what is the theme for 2021 for Pile 2s? What is the theme for 2021? What will the focus be on? Pile 2, what will the focus be on 2021? The World. Ooh, wow. The World. Okay, so the World is the last card in the tarot, in the major arcana of the tarot. So it means one cycle is ending and another cycle is beginning. So that is what is happening in your life. You are beginning a new cycle in 2021, which is awesome. I think a lot of people are in that place, by the way, because 2020 had a lot of karma in it for, you know, all the signs, all the astrological signs. A lot of people were dealing with a lot of stuff and cleaning a lot of stuff and revisiting a lot of stuff in order to release it. So this is where a lot of people are out, and you are definitely here. You're ending one cycle and you are beginning another cycle in 2021. That's what you're going to be focusing on, that new cycle of your life. Okay, so what advice do you have for pile 2s this year? How to handle the challenges that they're facing? What advice do you have for how to handle pile 2? What advice? Advice do you have for pile 2? Okay, you got 2 cards. We'll take them. You got the 10 of Wands here, which is, it is being overburdened. It's having too many obligations, really. And the message of the card is the only way out is through. You got to keep going. And you're at the end of this. This is an ending, and 10s are endings and beginnings at the same time. So once this cycle ends, this one begins. But Spirit is saying that the only way out is through. You can't pass off your obligations to other people at this point. Maybe it's too late for that. Maybe it really is just obligations that you're the only person that can handle. Which is unfortunate. We all get bogged down too much. Maybe the lesson is, as you move into your new life, maybe don't take on too much, but just tunnel through it and know that the light is at the end of the tunnel. Once you get past this last little bit, then you go into a new cycle. So that's your advice from Spirit. The other advice that you got for this year was the Hermit card, and this is a card of going within. It's a card of deeper spirituality. It's a card of going within to find the answers, and maybe that helps you. Maybe some meditation helps you with this anxiety here. Yoga, Tai Chi, those kinds of things. All exercise helps with anxiety because you increase your endorphins, and quite frankly, when you're doing something physical, you have less time to worry. Worry's all in the head, right? It's all mental. So if you do something physical, it just kind of shifts the focus. But this is saying you want to go within when you are faced with these challenges and to find the answers. Can be, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say it can be finding a spiritual guru, but I don't think that's it. I think it's just going within to yourself to stop the worry, to find the answers. And they will come to you. The light indicates that they will come to you, but it's in the quiet times, it's in meditation, it's in your own counsel that you find the answers. All right, so the last thing we want to know is, what will the transition be like, and how will pile 2 handle the transition into this amazing new year, this new cycle? What will the transition be like for pile 2? Transition for pile 2. How will they handle it? Oh, beautifully, brilliantly, with energy, with vitality, with passion. I like to see that. The Knight of Wands is, they're associated with the fire signs. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of passion. It's a lot of enthusiasm. Wow. Okay, and the Knights are always things that are coming into your life. It's movement, right? So this tells me that how you handle this transition and what you do with this. I was getting a little worried over here. I thought this is kind of getting a little heavy with the worry and the burdens that you have and the going within and the contemplating when you got this amazing world here. So I thought, oh, and you did all this amazing work too. This helps this reading a lot. It helps lighten it up a lot. It helps it be more action oriented, and it makes me feel better about you guys and what's coming for you in 2021 and how you're going to handle all this. I think it's good. Okay, so I think I'll end your reading there. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. And until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste. Welcome back, my friends. If you chose pile 3 with the garnet on it, these are going to be your messages for your Chinese New Year reading. Basically, it's what's coming up for the year ahead. We'll go back into 2020 a little bit and look at where you've been in 2020, and then we'll talk about what's coming up for 2021. Okay, so we'll do this with a different spread. I haven't used this spread before on this channel, but it is very common for a New Year reading. The first card that we want to see is, what was your major lesson in 2020? What was the major lesson for pile 3 in 2020? What's the major lesson for pile 3? That's 2 cards. I'll take them. I kind of want these one at a time, please, but I'll take these 2. Okay, so your major lesson was, this is a broken heart. This is heartache. This is not good energy. Something, it has been painful and it has broken your heart. The good news of the 3 of Swords is that it's now, at least it has come up to the surface and it's been lanced, and so now it can heal, but there has been a broken heart. The second card that you got is the 6 of Swords, which is actually moving on to brighter days, or in this particular case, it means brighter days ahead, right? But in this particular case, it, to me, with this card and with the question, what was your major lesson? You learned how to mend your broken heart and then move on with your broken heart. If you notice, there are swords in that boat still. There's still problems. The heart is still broken, but you're moving forward. And while it is healing, you're not staying stuck in the brokenheartedness. So that to me is a great lesson to learn. How to accept that, yes, you are wounded. We're all wounded in some way, by the way, but you're not going to let that keep you from moving forward. So that is where you have been. That was the lesson you learned in 2020. So what was your biggest achievement in 2020? That's the second thing we want to know. What was your biggest achievement in 2020? Biggest achievement for pile 3. Really? Nothing? Y'all achieved nothing? I don't believe it. Oh no, I don't want to come out. We'll just give it a minute. Well, give me a minute. Maybe I need to breathe. Okay, let's try it again. So what was pile 3's biggest achievement for 2020? Last year's achievement. Thank you. Okay. your biggest achievement. The Seven of Cups is all about pie in the sky, daydreaming, looking at all the possibilities, looking at too many possibilities, being unfocused about the direction that you want to go in. There are so many options that it is very hard to pick one. The message of the card is that you do have to pick one. You can have it all, but you can't have it all at the same time. With all your scattered focus, it's like the universe doesn't know what to give you. It's like you want this, you want this, you want this, you want it all, and we all want it all. But sometimes you have to focus your energy into the thing that you want most and start moving in that direction. So that was your biggest achievement for 2021, was gaining clarity and focus on all the possibilities that you want, which one you want to move in. How to harness those daydreams into a vision for your future. That's what your biggest achievement was. Okay, so the next thing we want to know is, what did pile 3 let go of last year? What did pile 3 let go of last year? What did pile 3 let go of last year? Oh boy. Okay. Page of Wands and Page of Pentacles. Okay. So these do have some people associated with them to me. Capricorn energy. Sagittarius energy. These pages are young people. So for some of you, this is not going to be for everybody, but for some of you, you became empty nesters, or you became, I'm not clear. How do you phrase this? You became comfortable with being empty nesters. You became, what you let go of is being a full-time mom, is for some of you. It is hard. That empty nest thing is hard when your kids leave home. So good for you for that, for letting go of that phase in your life and being brave enough to embrace the new one. For others of you, I feel like there were people that you let go of, and they may be family members, they may be friends, frenemies, probably, more likely. Basically, you let go of some people who were toxic, who broke your heart. It wasn't easy, but it had to be done. And I think Spirit is just acknowledging that you did the brave thing. Sometimes it's really hard to let people go out of your life, even if they're nasty to you, because, especially if it's family, because that's a part of you. You love them, and it's hard, but you can't. You can't let people just hurt you over and over and over again. At some point, you've got to say, I respect myself too much to do this anymore. So yeah, so I think there were some people. Some of you let go of some people this last year. In whatever way that was. Again, it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It may be just be letting go of a phase where you had these people in your life Like, okay, here's another example of when letting go can be a good thing. When you move, when you change locations, I've noticed that when people move or when I move, it takes about 6 months to kind of get adjusted to the place that you're at. And in that 6 months, you're longing for, you're still stuck back there a little bit. You're longing for those people, you miss those people. So that's, maybe you let some people from your past go. Not in a bad way, not that you'll never be in touch with them anymore. It's just they'll not be a part of your day-to-day life, and sometimes that can be difficult. So there has been some letting go of people in various different scenarios this year for pile threes. Okay, so the next thing we want to know is what to expect in 2021. So what's coming up for pile threes in 2021? These cards want to jump out about 2021. I just want to be sure we get the right message here. Okay, 2021, pile three. Let's, oh my goodness, that's too many. Well, the good news is there's a lot going on for you guys in 2021, so that's cool. Let's get the main message, what to expect in 2021 for pile three. Main message. I got two, and I think I'll take them. Okay. You got the Eight of Wands, which is new ideas, new energy, new creative ideas coming in, things moving very quickly all of a sudden, which is probably good with all the stagnation of 2020. And also what looks like some tough soul work that you were doing last year. Okay, so it's full steam ahead. Things are on the go. With that, you got the Queen of Swords, which is a woman over the age of 35, I say, that is very intellectual. She makes decisions using her head, not her heart. She's very smart. She's very fair. She also is wielding this sword, which means that she is not afraid to cut people out of her life if they no longer serve her, or if they need to be cut out for, again, going back to this, if they're, you know, breaking your heart, they need to be cut out. So this is what to expect for 2021. It's full steam ahead, but you're making decisions. You're making decisions well, good, well, I don't know how you say that, with your head. You're using your head. You're in a very sharp mental space. You have some serious clarity with all the new creative ideas that are coming in. You know which one to take up and which one to run with. So that's what to expect for 2021. That's cool. Okay, so what's your biggest challenge for 2021? What's the biggest challenge for pile three? Oh, okay. Well, this is interesting. You got the Two of Swords, which is actually intuition, and I just said that you know which one to take up and which one to run with, and this looks like there's some indecision. So there's an impasse. About something, you need to make a decision about which direction to go in something, and you don't want to look at it. So the message of the card is that you have to look at it. You can't hold out forever. You're going to have to take your blindfolds off, and you're going to have to look at it. And that is the challenge for this, with this, which is, like I said, very odd. Full steam ahead and clarity of thought, making the right decisions. This is maybe saying, because there's water behind this woman and there's the moon up there, there is an intuitive component of this. So maybe this is saying, yes, you want to be logical about the decisions that you make, but you want to use your intuition too. Trust your gut. Okay, so we will give another chance to clarify some advice for that. here in a minute. But the next thing we want to know is, what is this year's theme? What's the theme for 2021? What will the focus be on for 2021? Pile threes. It's too many. What will the focus be on for pile threes? What's 2021 theme? 2021 theme. Eight of Swords. Okay, so this card is not that pleasant. It is kind of being in trapped. It can be being trapped and not being able to see a way out of your situation. But because I'm actually not feeling that. What I'm feeling, let me see what this says. I don't read these, I don't use this, but yeah, this is talking about trapped and feeling bound and gagged. I'm actually not feeling that in this particular reading. I'm feeling that, and I might get a clarifier on that, is saying more that the theme is being protected this year. Like you're in a protective box, not trapped in the box, but you're in a protective place. Let me get one clarifier. Do it this way. Let's get one clarifier for the Eight of Swords here for the theme of 2021. One clarifier. Got an Eight of Cups. One more. Okay. And a Ten of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, I do feel like it is maybe feeling trapped. Okay, if you notice, this woman is blind. She has a blindfold on. She has her head down. It's like there is a way out and she doesn't want to see it. Maybe she doesn't like it. But she is kind of keeping herself trapped in this situation. What she really wants is this Eight of Cups. She wants to take her leave and she wants to go looking for that ninth cup, but she's not doing it for some reason. She feels trapped. She doesn't feel like she can. Okay, so the question was, what's the theme? What's the focus on? The focus is on getting out of this. That's the focus. Getting out of that and moving on to pursue your ninth cup. And then the Ten of Pentacles is just it can be inheritance. It's a very happy family card. It's legacy. It's generations of happiness in the family. It's also leaving something behind for your children and your grandchildren. Not necessarily money, but it can be money. It's establishing a legacy. And I think that's the ninth cup that you're looking for, by the way. Maybe your legacy. Maybe you want to establish something that you can, and I think it's I think it has some financial connection to it. Maybe you want to start a business that would carry down to the generations, or you want to establish some kind of fund, like a nonprofit fund to, I don't know, fight cancer or something like that. And that would be a legacy that you would pass down to your children. You're looking for that purpose in life, I think, that is not only, that leaves something good behind. That's what you're looking for. Okay, and so what the focus of the year is getting out of this. This is where you're at right now. You got to get out of this, and you will. You'll get out of this and go look for that ninth cup. Okay, sorry. That took a bit to get to, but we got there in the end. All right, so the next thing we want to know is advice for the year. How can pile 3 handle the challenges that they'll have coming up? What advice do you have for pile 3? Okay, good. The Hierophant card is the card of, this is actually a card of orthodoxy and tradition. It's a card of institutions, like this is the priest, the high priest in some decks. It can be, your advice is to consult someone who knows. It can be to take a traditional route with when you're faced with this decision and you don't know which one of these 8 wands to pick up and run with. It may be this may be saying just this year, you know, not for the rest of your life and forever, but just for this year, maybe you take the traditional approach to your dilemma here. Maybe you go, like if you've been working on your own, maybe you go into an institution. This card represents institutions for me of all kinds. It can be a corporation, can be a religious institution, can be a school, can be a hospital. So it does represent institutions. And since it's in your advice column, how to handle the challenges, you have a dilemma. So of which of these creative ideas to take up, this is saying maybe take the traditional approach. That's your advice. Okay, and the last thing we want to know is the transition from 2020 to 21. What will the transition be like for pile 3s? How will they handle the transition? Tell us about the transition for pile 3 in 2021, new year. I don't know what that means. You got the Lovers card. How will you handle the transition? Lovers. Okay, let me tell you what the Lovers is first. It is a decision. It is a decision between love and something else. Maybe that's how you handle the transition. Choose what you love. That's the message. So the Lovers card is a choice in love. It can be between 2 people that you love. It can be between something you love and something else. It can be between someone you love and something else, or someone you love and something else that you love. It is just a choice in love. So the way that your transition to 2021 plays out is that you will handle it, and I think we're going back to this dilemma here, down here, by making the choice that speaks to your heart, by choosing that which you love. That's how it plays out for you in 2021. Follow the heart. That's always good advice. Okay, happy Chinese New Year to all of you guys wherever you are in the world. I'm sending you lots of light and love. Until next time, namaste. Welcome back, my friends. If you chose pile 4, these are going to be your messages for the Chinese New Year reading. Pile 4 did have the clear quartz crystal on it. This is nothing, it's just a placeholder. So I'm going to pull the cards as I do the reading. I haven't done this reading yet on my channel. It is a pretty standard reading for a New Year reading. As I said, I'm sorry I didn't get to do a New Year reading this year, but I'm thinking this gives me a new opportunity. The Chinese New Year, the calendar does run a little different than the Western calendar, or the calendar here in the United States. So, you know, just take that with a grain of salt, but we are going to look at the past year, 2020, and what's coming up for 2021. So if you're tired of doing that already, then this is not going to be the reading for you. Okay, so the first question that we want to know, the first thing we want to see is, what was your major lesson for last year? What was Pile 4's major lesson for 2020? Or for the last year, what was Pile 4's major lesson that wanted to pop out? 6 of Wands. I think another pile got this, actually. The 6 of Wands is actually a card of victory. This guy has been out. Is it a guy? Looks like a guy. He's been out shooting bear, hunting game. I don't know what he's been doing, but he did something really cool. And he is riding into town, and all the townspeople are coming up and congratulating him. So this card, in addition to being a victory, is a card of accolades, like getting accolades from your peers and whatever. So to me, this being in the major lesson that you learned last year, I think it was that you learned how to let people celebrate your wins and how to accept accolades when they are thrown at you. So it's hard to believe, but some people have a hard time with that. They're really humble, which is nice, but you know, you need to celebrate your victories. Even the little ones, I celebrate all kinds of crazy little victories. I just like to celebrate. I think that's pretty clear. Chinese New Year, I'm not even Chinese, but I like to celebrate all the holidays. I don't care who they are. Okay, so what your major lesson was how to accept awards and accolades when you do something well. So the second things that we want to see is what was your big achievement? Your biggest achievement in 2020. What was your biggest achievement in 2020? What was your biggest achievement in 2020? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. It's too many cards. Got carried away. They can't all be the biggest, right? Let's see if we can do that again. What was Pile 4's biggest achievement for 2020? There we go. Okay, so you got the 8 of Swords, which is a card of being boxed in. It's a card of trapped, feeling trapped by circumstances that are beyond your control. It's definitely a card of being frustrated. But your biggest achievement was figuring out, you notice she has a blindfold on here. She kind of has her head down. She doesn't, there's a way out, but she kind of doesn't want to look at it. She don't want to look at it for some reason. If she would just take the blindfolds off, she would look around and see that there is a way out. So she would take it. Okay, that was your biggest achievement for 2020, figuring the way out of this. Taking the blindfolds off, which is brave sometimes when you feel trapped. It's that existential crisis, right? So yes, it is brave, but you did it. Sometimes it's hard to take the blindfold off. You took the blindfold off. You looked at what was surrounding you and what was keeping you trapped, and you realized where the exit was, and you got out of it. So good for you. That is a big achievement. All right. So for pile 4, what did they let go of last year? What did pile 4 let go of last year? Whoa. Well, I don't know, but it was big. It was something big. The Tower is like wiping the slate clean. It's like destroying something big in your life. And we're talking jobs, relationships. What's big? Could be anything. It's what's big to you, right? It is destroying them. Usually, actually, this is from the divine, like God strikes it down. But with it being in this position of what you let go of last year, you did it. You blew it up. I don't know what you blew up. It's going to be different for all of you, but it was not easy. It was hard, but it needed to be blown up. That is the message for this card. The foundation was not good for whatever that was that you really bombed out of your existence. Whatever that was for you, you had to do it. It had to be done because the foundation was not good, and it had to be the slate had to be wiped clean so you could start anew. Okay. Woo. So I don't know what you let go of, but I know it was something major, and it was hard, and it was the right thing to do, and it took a lot of courage for you to do it. I do know that. Okay. So let's move into 2021 and see what you can expect this year. What's coming up for pile 4s this year? Ooh, nice. All right, here you go. You're rebuilding. You got the Magician. It's the Master Manifestor card. It's like taking what you desire from the heavens and dragging it right down here to the earth with all these tools. This is a very earthly card. This is not somebody high up in the sky bestowing something upon you. This is using all the tools that are available to you to take your desire, which it does come from God. I'm not saying the grace of God is not smiling down on you and helping you with this, because it is. He is. She is. But you have all the tools that you need to reach your goals. That's what the message of that card is, and that's what you can expect for this year. You're reaching out for your goals, whatever that is for you, and you're making it happen. You're manifesting your desires this year. Okay, what is your biggest challenge for 2021? That one came out first, so we're going to take that one. Queen of Wands. Well, a person, I'm not crazy about a person being in the challenge part, so let's talk about personality. It is my minor arcana for Leo, but it is a queen, older woman, who has it all. She has a great home life, great family. She has a great career. She's kind of the best of all the queens because she's so balanced, and she just sits on her throne so regally and so naturally on the throne. She just is that woman that everybody envies because she can do it all. Maybe that's your challenge, now that I think of it. Your challenge is to let go of trying to be this person. You can't do it all. You want to reach this goal for sure, but there's going to have to be some sacrifices probably that will have to be made while you're working on this particular goal. You can't be the perfect employee and the perfect mom all the time, every day, 24/7. So, maybe you can buy some cookies to take to that bake sale. It's that kind of thing, right? So your biggest challenge is going to be trying to be perfect in all areas of your life and figuring out what you got to let go of or what you can let go of. I think this is probably going to be your challenge. Okay. So the next thing we want to know is, what is the theme for this year? What will the focus be on in 2021 for pile 4s? What will the focus be on in 2021 for pile 4s? What will the focus be on in 2021 for pile 4? Pile 4 focus for 2021. Justice. Awesome. Balance. The justice is the card of balance. It's a card of actual justice. It's a card of it is a legal system. Sometimes like the earthly legal system, judges, lawyers, that kind of thing. So some of you might actually be involved in a court case this year, and that will take up your focus and a lot of time. For a lot of you, this is karmic justice. This is balancing the wheel of karma, and that's going to be the focus for this year. And that's not your doing. That's up to the universe. That's up to the divine to balance the karmic justice, and it's balancing in your favor after some losses here that were probably unjust. It was not fair. It was not just. The balance is restored this year. That's what the focus is going to be on. Not on you getting justice. That's not what it is. Don't take it that way. Justice is coming to you. Karmic justice is coming to you. And for some people, it really is just going to be you're involved in a court case, like a divorce or something this year. And that's the theme of the year. And believe me, when you're involved in something like that, that does take up your whole year. Okay, so the next thing we want is advice for the year, how to handle the challenge. That popped out quickly. Woo-hoo-hoo. Nice. Look at that, you guys. The Sun. The Sun is the happiest card in the whole deck. So, your advice is, this is a child. He is jumping over this fence, which indicates he is breaking free from his past. So that's what you need to do. That's your advice. Break free from your past. Let it go. I don't care what you have to do. Let it go so that you can move on into your super happy, joyful, fulfilled future. That is the message of this card. And also to realize that you have a lot of bright prospects out there. So be sure to stay focused on that and definitely break free from this past. You got great things coming up in 2021, and it's going to be a good year for y'all. It really, really is. You're manifesting your desires, and you're in a place of joy and happiness. I mean, what's better than that? Just be cautious of trying to take on too much. That's the thing. Okay, so the last thing we want to know here is how will you handle the transition from 2020 to 2021? What will transition be like for you? How will you handle the transition? Pile 4. What will transition be like for pile 4? Oh, wow. 2 of Cups, peace of mind, love, partnership. This doesn't have to be a love relationship, but I feel like it is for some of you. I think you're breaking free from a past relationship and you're moving on to a new one this year. For some of you. The transition to this, the year from 2020 to 2021 is helped by harmonious relationships that you have, maybe with a partner, maybe with a new partner, maybe with friends and family, loved ones. It's helped through partnerships that helps you in your transition. You're going to handle it very, very well. What's that song? I get by with a little help from my friends. That's your year. That's how you're making it into 2021 in a much better place than this, for sure. Okay, my friends, happy Chinese New Year wherever you are in the world. I'm sending you guys lots of light and love. Until next time, namaste.